أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. In this session, inshallah, we will look at chapter 23 of the book. Chapter 23 focuses on truthfulness or as-sidq. Okay, as-sidq, truthfulness, as-sidq. In chapter 22, we had learned that it is not good to lie. As Muslims, we should always be honest and truthful. Okay, so today we're going to look at some more at truthfulness and honesty, inshallah. So sidq is an Arabic word which means truthfulness. Sadiq means truthful. And the Prophet himself, he was so honest and truthful. He had a reputation for being a trustworthy, truthful, honest person, and so he was known as a Sadiq. A person who is Sadiq is someone who makes such a constant practice of sidq that it becomes his regular habit. Truthfulness means one makes no difference between what he believes in private and what he practices in public. The person who is truthful is a person who always tells the truth. If anyone wishes for Allah to be with him, he had better make truthfulness his constant practice, for Allah is with those who are truthful. And as we learned in the last lesson, Allah, he does not like lies or liars. So we should not tell lies. We should seek to be truthful so that Allah is constantly with us. The real meaning of truthfulness is that you would always tell the truth no matter what. Allah's Messenger ﷺ was the most truthful of all people. Telling lies is a kind of sickness which has no cure. It leads to all vices and prevents virtues. So the more we tell lies, the more we find it easy to do bad things. So we should not tell lies. We should always be honest. Telling lies starts like a drop of black ink, which then spreads and grows until it covers everything. Its only remedy is to give up lying and speak the truth. Okay, so lies can get out of hand. The more lies we tell, we end up telling even more, right? So we tell one lie, then we tell two, then we tell three, then we tell four. Before we know it, we're lying all the time. So we should always aim to speak the truth so as not to become people who constantly tell lies. Allah's Messenger ﷺ commands us not to talk too much because this can lead to nonsense and lying. The sharpest weapon held by a liar is his tongue. Islam does not value empty words that are not backed up by actions. So if we give our word, we should act on our word. We should do the thing we said we were going to do. So we're going to, inshallah, complete some exercises. So exercise A, what would I do? Okay, so if I did not complete my homework, would you A, lie to the teacher that I was sick? B, hide the book and tell the teacher I had lost it? Or C, apologize to my teacher and tell him that I had not finished it? What should we do? We should apologize to my teacher and tell him that I had not finished it, okay? We should always tell the truth. Lying and telling the teacher false information to get out of trouble, it's not a good thing to do. It's not an Islamic thing to do. We should always tell the truth and try to better our actions in future, inshallah. Number 2, what should you do? If I broke a plate in the kitchen and my mother asked who had done it. A, I would keep quiet, hoping that no one would find out who did it. B, I would admit my mistake and tell my mother how sorry I was. Okay, it's just 2 options. A or B, what would you do? Would you keep quiet, hoping that nobody would find out who did it? Or would you admit your mistake and tell your mother how sorry you are? Okay, as Muslims, we should do option B. We should admit the mistake and you should tell your mother how sorry you were. When we do something wrong, we should be honest and we should try to correct what we did, okay? And exercise B, we're going to say whether these sentences are true or false. Okay, so sentence 1, Sidq means truthfulness. That's true. Sidq means truthfulness. Number 2, true or false? A person who is sadiq always tells lies. That's false. 2 is false. A person who is sadiq always tells the truth. Okay, someone who honest and truthful. Number 3, true or false? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the most truthful of all people. And that's true. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was very truthful. He had a reputation for it, and he was known as a sadiq. That's how honest and truthful he was. 4, sadiq means liar. True or false? This is false. Sadiq means truthful. Okay, someone who's always truthful. 5, it is important to admit and correct our mistakes. True or false? And 5 is true. As Muslims, we should always be honest. We shouldn't lie to get out of trouble. If we make a mistake, we should admit it, apologize, and correct ourselves. Okay, so finally, exercise C. Please do this on your own and then have your parents or teachers or another adult check your answers for you. If you could write down a story from your life when you told the truth, even though it meant getting you yourself into trouble. Okay, and we have finished chapter 23. Inshallah, in the next session, we'll look at chapter 24. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.